Jesus exchanges our burdens for his blessings. See, Jesus blesses through transformation. And that's what this passage is all about. There are 3 transformations that happen in this man's life, and I want to unpack those with us this morning because I believe that if we take to heart what happens to this man because of the work of Jesus, we will be transformed as well. There's 3 transformations. The first one is this: the presence of Jesus transforms our identity. Let's go to verse 40. And a leper came to him, imploring him, and kneeling said to him, "If you will, you can make me clean." This man has broken every rule applied to him. I mean, he's inside the city walls. He is not keeping his distance, and he's not announcing his presence as unclean. He does all of this not to be a rule breaker, but to find freedom from his physical burden, to find freedom in Jesus. I think if we're honest, we tend to look for transformation in the presence of people, places, or situations that aren't Jesus. The presence of Jesus alone transforms our identity. The presence of Jesus provides ultimate comfort. The presence of Jesus is the presence of our deliverer. Our burdens belong at the feet of Jesus because that's where our identity can be transformed from unclean to redeemed. The second transformation that happens in our scripture is found in the next 2 verses. Moved with pity, he stretched out his hand and touched him and said to him, "I will be clean." And immediately the leprosy left him, and he was made clean. Just as the presence of Jesus transforms our identity, the power of Jesus transforms our lives. Immediately, Jesus takes this man's broken and burdened life and transforms and changes it from isolation to community, from pushed out to invited in. Scripture shows us that Jesus' words can resist temptation, can calm storms, and can feed thousands. But some of the most influential words that happen are when Jesus speaks words of transformation directly to us. When we search for life change outside of Jesus, we end up getting situational change. We end up getting circumstantial change. We end up getting even some temporary change, but we don't get that real, authentic life change. Life change only comes from the one who replaces our burdens with his blessings. The blessing of new life and new identity is what Jesus gives this man in our scripture today, but this is also what he gives and offers to us. The blessing of Jesus allowing us to be imperfect and made new all at the same time. This is the power of Jesus. The third transformation happens in the rest of our text here, verses 43 through 45. And Jesus sternly charged him and sent him away at once and said to him, "See that you say nothing to anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer for your cleansing what Moses commanded for a proof to them." But he went out and began to talk freely about it and to spread the news so that Jesus could no longer openly enter a town, but was out in desolate places where people were coming to him from every quarter. The third transformation happens when the promise of Jesus exchanges our condition, exchanges his condition for ours. You see, what Jesus does here is the most important transformation of all. What Jesus does here is that he exchanges his position in the community for the leper's position in the wilderness. This is what Jesus does for us. He takes our place, he takes our cross, he takes our sin, he takes our burden, he takes our identity, he takes our condition, and he nails them to that cross. All so that our lives can be transformed. This whole story of redemption and restoration happens because the leper takes the first step. If he doesn't have the courage to come in to town and break all the rules that were set for him. He never has this encounter with Jesus. You see, we need to bring our burdens to Jesus. We need to plead with Jesus, and we need to trust in Jesus by saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean.